Hello dear students, I welcome you to the explanation video of chapter number 5, that is verbs. In class 6, you have learnt about verb as action words. Now we will go on one step further. What's the purpose of words? Children, in English grammar, we cannot have a sentence without a verb. The importance of it cannot be undermined. So verbs tells us what a person does. Hence, it becomes your action word. Now see its example. The guard showed the green flag. So here the action is being performed and the action is showed here. Jaya hit the ball hard. So here the action is Jaya is hitting the ball. So it is the action word here. Now it also tells us what a person is and therefore it is a state of being. Example are Madhu is intelligent. It is the verb over this. So children is a verb over here, and now what a person or thing has, that is the verb showing the possession. So in this sentence I have a beautiful diary. So it's showing the possession. Now the next one, a cow has 4 legs. Here also it is showing the possession, and so here have and has are the verbs which are showing the possession. Now let's move to the kinds of verbs. Primary classification of verb puts them under 2 categories. First is main verbs and the second is auxiliaries, or you can call them helping verbs. Children, main verbs are the words that actually shows the action or activity of subject. Example, read, sleep, eat, run. Or see few examples. Sun shines, bus stops, car own. So children, main verbs, they can stand alone. Okay, and all these verbs can exist independently and provide complete meaning. So here in these sentences, shines, stops and runs are the main verb, and these are the action or activity which has been performed. Right? Now auxiliary verb, children, they are the helping verb and they gives more meaning to the main verb. Like examples are is, had, do, did. These 4 are the main helping words. And will, shall, may, can, could, might, must, these are all modal auxiliary verbs, children. Children, sometimes auxiliary verbs, they are used alone and sometimes they are used with the main verb for some functional purposes. Okay. Now children, let's proceed. Main verbs are further classified on the basis of the following differentiation. First is transitive or intransitive verbs. Second is finite or non-finite verbs. And the third one is regular or irregular verbs. Now coming to the first category, that is transitive verbs. So children, what are transitive verbs? In transitive verb, the action it denotes passes from the subject to the object and it requires an object to receive the action. So here the action passes from subject to the object. So we have to understand what is subject, verb and object. Then only we can understand what are transitive verb, children. And as children, transitive verb passes from the subject to the object, and an intransitive verb, we doesn't need any object. Clear? So children, here are few sentences written to mark the difference between transitive and intransitive verb. First one, Subhash caught the ball. Subhash is sleeping. The patient needs medicine. The patient is laughing loudly. The teacher praised the child. The teacher has left. So let's talk about the subject in all the sentences. Subject is that verb, children, word which does the action in the sentence. And these sentences, Subhash is the subject, and in the other sentence also Subhash is the subject. Who is sleeping? Subhash is sleeping. Who caught the ball? Subhash caught the ball. And in the second sentence, see, the patient needs medicine. Okay, and in this sentence, the patient is laughing loudly. So in both these cases, the patient is the subject over here, and the third sentence, the teacher praised the child, and here in the auxiliary verb, the teacher has left. So in both these sentences, the teacher is the subject. Okay. Now it's clear how to pick out the subject. So now let's see what is a verb over here now. As you all know that verb is a word that denotes some action, state or possession. So here Subhash caught the ball. So what is Subhash doing? He is catching the ball. So caught will be verb here. And here Subhash is sleeping. In this sentence, is sleeping is a verb as it is showing the action. Okay. Now let's come to the object side. Now Subhash caught the ball. In this sentence, the ball is the object because object is a word which receives the action. If I say Subhash caught, this sentence will be incomplete as it doesn't convey any meaning. So this sentence needs an object to complete its meaning. But in the other sentence here, Subhash is sleeping or the teacher has left. It is the complete sentence which doesn't require any object and it's complete in itself. Now let's understand what are finite verbs and what are non-finite verbs. So children, a finite verb is a verb that has finite or limited agreement with the subject. What does it mean? It means that it limits its usage as per the subject parameter. So there are three different parameters over which these limitations is fixed. First is the tenses. Okay. Whether it is performing the action in past tense, present tense or future tense. And second is the person, that is the subject is in the first person, second person or the third person. And the third parameter is the number, that whether it is in singular or plural. So the finite verb will change as per the tense of the sentence, as per the person, as per the number of the subject. So now let's understand the three parameters with the help of few examples. Now look at when the verb changes as per the tense. And see the example, I play cricket every day. So it is in present tense. Okay. Here the verb is play. Now look into the another example here. I played cricket yesterday. This sentence is is in past tense, children, and here the verb is played. Now you can see that verb play is changed to played as per the tense. So both the word play and played are finite verb. Now look into another example where the verb that changes as per the person. Okay. Now look into another example where the verb changes as per the person. Okay. So see the example. I run a mile daily. He runs a mile daily. So in the first sentence, the subject I is the first person. And here the verb is run. Now look into this example. Here the subject is he and the verb is runs. Okay, so and this is the third person. He is the third person. Okay, so both run and runs are finite verbs. Now let's move to the further examples. Let's see the further examples where the verb changes as per number. Okay, that means number can be in singular or plural. Now see the example. Apple is of red color here. So here subject is apple and it is in singular form. And now see the next example. Apples are of red color. So here the verb, and in the first one the verb is. Okay. And in the next example, apples are of red color. Here the subject is in plural form and the verb is are. So children, here the verb is changed to are. So the subject is changed to singular, from singular to plural. So I hope this is all clear to you. The finite verbs are clear to you as it is changed according to the tense, person or number. So children, that's all for this video, and the remaining part of the chapter I'll explain to you in my next video. Thank you and have a nice day.